Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at disneyplus.com. I'm here with Eric Litman, who has worked on a number of series, including Hot Zone, Anthrax, and also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, Eric, would you like to introduce yourself and kind of some of the shows that you've been working on?
Sure. So I worked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's first foray into television for 7 seasons. I cut a number of their premieres and finales, including the series finale. Amazing experience. Prior to all that, I grew up in Philadelphia, went to school for film, moved out here about 20 years ago in Los Angeles. I went to AFI for editing, and just been working pretty steadily ever since.
Cool. I was going to ask, so what is the primary job as an editor? What's I tend to do it obviously for YouTube, but what's kind of the difference doing it for like television to just like what we might do at home?
So the primary goal of the editor is to serve the story. You get a script, you read the script, and you meet with the directors and producers, and you understand what the intent of what we're setting out to achieve here. And it's your responsibility as an editor to make the lead look good, obviously, and do whatever you need to do to serve the story to move things forward. So when doing that, you choose when you're putting together scenes, you're choosing the best performances. You're making sure that the arc of the character is flowing, and you're also you want to make sure that you're telling the story that you want to tell in a clear, concise way.
And I mean, I know like myself, like with YouTube, where you're trying to keep audiences' attentions. Is that a little bit different in terms of like doing television as well, where do you have to keep changing it up every like 10 seconds to kind of keep people's attentions, or can you go a little bit longer because it's television?
So people's attention spans are they're changing now. People like things to move pretty fast. But that being said, the story, every story or every show is different. I let the material speak to me, tell me what needs to happen. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a network TV show. It was very fast paced. So we definitely moved things at a very quick tempo.
Cool.
So we did that in order so that when we had emotional moments, we could let things breathe. We can open it up and just let us sit in that moment there. So that way it resonates with the audience. Other shows are different. I worked on Hot Zone, Anthrax. That was a more of a character piece, more of a study of what happened. So at times when there was action, yeah, we would make things fast, but a lot of times it was a little bit of a slower pace.
Yeah, it's actually one of the questions I was going to ask was the difference in like doing the genres of obviously like between them two. And is there a kind of a special trick that you use kind of because of the different kind of pacing?
Again, I let the footage speak to me. If we're having like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a lot of action scenes, a lot of car chases, a lot of fights. So those things were fast. Those you wanted to keep the momentum going. You wanted to keep people's attentions there, and you would cut things very, very quick. And yeah, you had to. You don't want to fall on the risk of making things look cutty. That's not good. That wouldn't be good editing. So you have to. So in order to do that, you have to change the angle, change the sizes, use different coverage from time. So that way you're constantly keeping people's attention spans engaged. Hot Zone, Anthrax, different genre, different way of editing. It was, we're with the characters. We're letting them tell us, or tell me rather, when to cut, or more importantly, when not to cut. That's a real hard. As an editor, that's a hard thing to understand.
And so, how long does roughly like one episode take
To put together?
Yeah.
Well, so again, every show is different. On Agents of Shield, it was fast paced. It was a fast paced show, and it was a fast paced working environment. We were going up against air dates, so we would have a very finite amount of time to put the stuff together. Unfortunately, the footage was a lot. There was a lot of footage to go through, which was good because you gave us a lot of options, but it was a lot of work in a short amount of time. So generally, you would have on Agents of Shield, it was anywhere between an 8 and 9 day shoot, um, and we shot over in at Culver Studio, which was an amazing experience. Great old school studio, and so we would do. So I'd have about 8 or 9 days to put it together, production, and then depending on the schedule, anywhere between 2 to 4 days for the editor's cut, and then again, depending on the schedule, 2 to 4 days for director's cut, depending if we're going against an air date or if we had big visual effects that we had to start moving forward on, and then and then producer's cut, studio network cut, and lock. Again, those are all about depending on schedule, 2 to 4 days.
Yeah, so you mentioned there like the directors and the producers. So they kind of you do your cut and then they kind of go through and like check it over and and that takes quite a bit of time, I imagine, going through like different processes and stuff that way.
Yeah, so I was on Agents of Shield. I cut 40 episodes, so I worked with a lot of different directors, a lot of the same directors a number of the time. The directors I worked with multiple times, you develop a quick shorthand, and you were able to sort of anticipate what they're looking for. They know what you bring to the table, and it's just sort of like real easy collaboration. On different episodes, you might get a director involved a lot sooner because, hey, we should look at something here. We might want to get more footage for something. On Hot Zone Anthrax, because it was different time than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We were full blown into the pandemic. Everyone was at home. We used Zoom a lot to communicate, FaceTime. And when reviewing cuts, we use this program called Evercast, which is similar to what we're talking to now, but we were able to stream the cut at the same time. So the director that I was working with, Daniel Percival, terrific director. He directed the pilot that I cut, and I was able to hop into an Evercast session with him at any given moment and say, hey, we should look at something here, or let's look at this, or let's talk about something. And we were able to review scenes almost immediately and discuss it, which was really beneficial because when he went back and had to do some additional pickups, I was able to show him scenes, and we were able to discuss and collaborate about what additional footage we may want. So it was a great tool to utilize.
Yeah, sounds definitely as over the years, like of the technologies evolved to kind of really kind of make it a lot easier. I mean, I know like myself of how much I've seen with the software that like I use, how much it improves. I try to imagine what's happened in the actual the back end at your side.
It's terrific. I mean, it has its limitations. The camaraderie of being in person, that sometimes is not always there. But to be able to communicate very quickly, to show things in real time, and they shot in Canada on Hot Zone. I was in Los Angeles, so barring time zones, we were able to really focus on the material and discuss in real time what the potential issues are or things we may want.
And sort of in general, are there like any tips that you'd like to give to any sort of inspiring editors out there?
Well, I would say patience and perseverance. Those are real. Those are real good tools to utilize. Good work ethic, work hard, and the right people will take note of that, and they will help you move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I only tend to do like an hour or two of editing a day, and it's just the idea of sort of doing that sort of every day. I mean, do you get to the point where you see that clip so many times that you're sick of it?
Well, there's definitely, you have to, you know, and this sort of came into play with, I just did a pilot, and we were reviewing things over and over and over again, and the objectivity of what you're looking at is, it's easy for that to go away. So a lot of times what I'll tell people, directors, producers, even myself, is, well, what, when you first saw that scene, or you first saw that shot, or whatever you're looking at, what was your reaction? Because that's the true response.
Cool. And do you work on like different projects at the same time, or do you just focus on one at a time?
Well, I usually focus on just one at a time. That being said, because the world is so fast paced now, I'm sometimes working on multiple episodes at once, which
Really?
could be tricky, but fun.
And I gotta ask, and what would be your dream project that you could work on?
Oh wow, there's a number. I mean, I'm looking at your background now. It's a lot of Star Wars there. I mean, anything Star Wars would, that would be, be pretty sweet. The new Obi-Wan is just phenomenal, and their shows are just really well put together. Good storytelling. The two shows I'm watching right now that I'm absolutely loving are Under the Banner of Heaven and The Staircase. Those are just great shows, and just
Yeah,
masterfully put together.
yeah, I'm kind of halfway through The Staircase, and unfortunately in the UK we've got to wait a little bit longer till July till it arrives on Disney Plus over here. So I'm looking forward to that one myself.
It,
So it's just that kind of thing as well. Of you just mentioned them there, but what has been your favorite Disney Plus original so far?
well, you got to go with The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I
it's always that
mean,
kind of one that just pulls people in.
it's really well put together. You capture the flavor of Star Wars from our youth. It's just really good storytelling. Um, John Favreau, Dave Filoni, they're just, in terms of moving the needle ahead in Star Wars, they're crushing it. It's just really good.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to us today. And again, you can go check us out over at What's on Disney Plus for all the latest Disney Plus news. And on that, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.